Willie D. Live.
But we need that, a Department of Reconciliation. And my hope is that we can then deal with reparations. I'm a firm believer in reparations. And for those who say they don't believe in it and, nobody should be giving you anything, nobody owes you anything. Well, 240 plus years of free labor for my ancestors, I think something is owed. Yeah. 240 years. You were born into slavery, you lived as a slave, and you died as a slave. That happened for 240 years. People think that slavery was 20 or 30 years. It was centuries. And it was intended to be forever. We were brought here to be a permanent, subservient, identifiable, not class. Class is a socioeconomic circumstance. This is something more dastardly. It's a caste. We were brought here to be a part of a caste system. That's hereditary. Class, socioeconomic. Caste, hereditary. Meaning, because you're who you are, you will be in this caste for all of your life. That's why we were brought here. And to a certain extent, we still have some of the residue of that caste system that we have to deal with.
And therein lies the problem. When you start thinking about racism in this country and why is it so persistent, I can give you a direct beeline. I can make a beeline to Congress because, number one, slavery wouldn't have never existed if you didn't have congressmen and women who were benefiting from slavery, okay? And just like racism is so persistent right now and the way that they're trying to roll back the clock on civil rights legislation and all of the advances that were made, by, our ancestors and the people that came before us, these people, they don't want racism to be dealt with. They don't even want it managed. We ain't gonna talk about ending. They don't even want it managed because they all, I ain't gonna say all of them, but many of them benefit. Many of those congressmen and women, you can trace their roots back to slavery. Their fathers, their great-great-great-great-grandparents and all of those, you can trace it all the way back to slavery. And that's why it's so hard to get anything done when you talk about reparations. Man, they can go in that room and stroke a check right now. Hell, we already $37 trillion in debt. Hell, what's another $5 trillion? What's another $10 trillion? You know what I'm saying? It's going to get there anyway. If we're going to get there, let's get there with some reparations. I'm cool. Look, I'm cool on bread, but I want it for my ancestors. I want it for those black people out there who don't have generational wealth, who's never had an opportunity to get ahead because there was always their parents, didn't have anything from jumping. They've always just been scrapping and scraping to survive. It's so many people out there that could use that hand up, and that ain't no handout. Remember, that's a debt owed. Our ancestors worked for that money. So that's our money. And so anybody who got a problem with us getting that money, first of all, your opinion don't even count because you ain't did nothing. You ain't got a dog in the fight. And I'm talking about everybody. Anybody that got a problem with it. And all you black folks who talking about y'all got a problem with it and don't want it, we're going to take your chair. Make sure when it happens, because I do believe reparations is going to happen. So make sure when it do happen that you pass that bread that you get on down to the next brother or sister who want the money, because I want it. I want every single nickel. I want all of it.
Well, you make an excellent point, and let me just add this to it. The people that we're talking about, the Africans who were enslaved, they were the economic foundational mothers and fathers of the country. They planted the seeds, they harvested the crops, they fed the nation. They had a hand in building the White House, a hand in building the Capitol. They were the people whose lives were sacrificed for more than 240 years to make America great. But for them, America would not be the world power it is today. So if you're in this country, regardless as to how you got here or why you're here, you're standing on their backs. America would not be what it is today if it had not had 240 years of sacrifice. And by the way, let's define that sacrifice. It was kidnapping, taking people from Africa. It was rape. It was murder. It was selling children away from their parents at the auction block. It was something that you don't overcome by simply saying you're no longer going to have slavery.
Correct.
I mean, it's not overcome.